Well, well, well. What do we have here?
When? Where have you been?
I bet there'll be some people that will look in my social media and everything and be like, so you lost your job, you wanted to do better with social media and content creating and get experiences with creating podcasts. So you were doing really well, then all of a sudden you just disappeared off the face of the earth. What the fuck happened? um, what hasn't happened? I thought I would just sit and talk about what happened. I guess this is the fourth episode of Gem Chats, so enjoy. Yeah, so apparently this is the fourth episode of Gem Chat, where me, Gem, chats about anything and everything in life. So let's get chatting, shall we? What did happen? Um, my mental health took a really big toll on me, to say the least. So obviously, as you all know, I had lost my job about 2 months ago. And at first, I was proper taking in my stride. I was kind of owning it in a way. I didn't want it to fully destroy my confidence because I'm someone I could so easily call myself a failure, look at myself as being a loser, and get insecure about how far behind I might seem in life because I've been there before and I didn't want that mentality. I knew I wanted to make my skills better, so I thought since I've got free time, I may as well try and create some content and see what sticks. But there's only so much you can do with saying you're unemployed um, on the internet. There are people out there that can do it like every day. There's a girl I follow on TikTok that does it every day, and and it doesn't seem the same old video every time. And I'm glad that works for some people. It just didn't really work for me, but at least I still kept trying for a while. But, but I noticed my carousels on TikTok were doing a bit better than the videos. So I thought I would do each in between of that. I love seeing the carousels of people being like, this is what I got up to today. So I thought I would do that. So I posted a carousel of of a day in the life of an unemployed 27-year-old. But of course I chose a day where I wasn't doing nothing. I had a lot going on that day. Well, a lot going on. I had more to do that day than I did any other normal day whilst being unemployed. Yes, I did take my car in to get valid. So I got my car valid. I walked to the nearest place to grab lunch because I'm allowed to have lunch, aren't I? I'm still allowed to put food in my body while I waited for my car to get valid. And then I went into Morrison's to get a couple things, you know, a couple necessities, I guess you would say. Walked back to get my car, came back home, applied for a few jobs. I said an hour and a half, and I said I was pooped. Which is true. I was exhausted because that was nearly a month of me searching for jobs, and it is mentally tasking. It is mentally tasking. I posted that carousel. If you look at my TikTok profile, it has over 20k views, and you would think, oh my gosh, you have quite a bit of views. That's good. It wasn't for a good reason. It was not for a good reason. I had a lot of trolls in that comment section. And I hate to say it, it got to me. It really, really got to me. I ended up crying. I don't want to fucking cry over fucking strangers that have no lives. I cried for a good couple of hours because I feel my feels a lot, which sometimes is a blessing but a curse. And those type of things really get to me. I think it's because I was bullied a lot as a kid, so maybe that's why. I am a sensitive wee soul, and I can admit that. Yeah, those people that were horrible call me lazy. They were like, no fucking wonder you don't have a job. All that stuff. And people were saying how, oh, I have all these issues with me. You know, something like, oh yeah, like I have arthritis. I have all these stuff in my body. But I work as a nurse. I'm still grinding. And it's like, that's not a flex that you think it is not. And it's just like, people on these online don't know anything about you. They just took what they do is they take something that you show online and they think it's fact, and it's like, well, it's not really fact. You don't know why I'm unemployed. You don't know what I've done before I became unemployed. You don't know my employment history. You don't know anything about me. And I think that's why I took it so much to heart, because I have been judged so much in my life, and I feel like I'm quite misunderstood quite a lot. And seeing these people misunderstand me, it was hard. I think it's because I've been in a toxic relationship before, and they just never understood me or anything. I feel the need to defend myself, and I felt like I had to be like, no, I'm not this person. So I did make a response video, and again, I still had a few comments. People being like, that wasn't what we are saying, but I'm also unemployed, and I don't know how you're affording this. I'm like, do you actually think I've been unemployed my whole life? I was just recently unemployed. I have something called savings. And I decided to treat myself out for lunch while I get my car cleaned. Is there something wrong with that? Maybe in hindsight probably was a wee bit out of touch, but they were acting like I they act like I basically killed their whole family in front of them, live on TikTok. And it's like you really should be putting your energy elsewhere. You should really be putting it to actual issues, what's going on in the world. You know? Just because I choose to get my car cleaned while I don't have a job, that is not the end of the world. We're all still living and breathing. Yes, that really took its toll on me. That's why I've been a bit scared to post things. And plus, as well, I think I've kind of just been struggling on what I want to post. I think even with this as well, there's only so much I can chat about. And since all that happened, I'm kind of a bit too scared to be vulnerable online. Not vulnerable, but be personal on the internet. Because it's such a dangerous game. It's just more ways of people to rip into your character and judge you. And I don't want my I don't want it to take a toll on me again. Because at least if I make something based on something happened in history, at least the hate I would get is, oh, you probably did the research wrong. I can take that, but if it's something over my personal life, I can't take it. I had my 50th external crisis of the month. Obviously, being unemployed really took a toll on me. Like, after a while, you start to realize that money wastes away, and unless you find a way to earn it, it's not going to magically come back. And I felt trapped, even though I love this flat and I like the fact that I have this flat, and I'm really happy here. You just feel trapped because you're like, well, if I go out, that means I need to have an excuse to go out. That's why sometimes on walks I go to a coffee shop in the middle of it. So then at least I'm actually going for something, or going to Home Bargains and get like a couple of necessities or something. I couldn't really do that because I was watching my money and my spending, and I just felt trapped. And as of as of Saturday, officially, I will no longer be unemployed. I did manage to get a job. I'm back in retail. To be fully transparent, I'm back in retail, and I don't feel ashamed of that. People may say that's such a step back. You went from doing social media, now you're back in retail. Do you not feel like embarrassed? No, no, because I fucking need money in order to fucking survive. It's fucking tough out there. And if that means I need to get a job where like I'm doing 20 to 25 hours a week, that's better than just relying on seekers and that barely paying my rent, but I've still got other things to pay for. I'm not embarrassed. I'm not. I was lucky that like I do have loads of experience in retail. Obviously, I was there for nearly 10 years. And if that means I need to do this again, up until I figure things out, I had to be realistic. I had to be realistic. I've decided to go back to education next year. I tried to apply for clearing, but I never heard back. So I just assumed there was no spaces left, or you didn't, or it was just too late. So I've just finished my application for university next year. So This is from someone that thought that never wanted to go to university. I didn't want to do anything like that of the sort. But in order for me to gain, internships or getting good contacts, a lot of these places do tend to look at certain universities, students, and I have to be smart about it. Yes, I was lucky enough to get a job in social media in the first place, but after a while, I just didn't have the right experience or the right mentality to do that kind of job just yet. And now I've been out of it. Strangely enough, I am happier out of that job than I ever was in that job. I've had this time to myself and I really had to think about it. And at least with university, I can use this opportunity to gain more skills and get more contacts. That's all you kind of want in the end of the day. Grab those opportunities as you can. Hopefully when I start university next year, I will be 28. That's still young. I'm still in my 20s. Life doesn't stop. Life doesn't stop as soon as you turn 25. And I'm kind of living proof of that. I just want to be happy and I want to be able to have not a I do not want to be full on successful to the point where I'm in charge of everything or everyone. I just want to have a comfortable life and I want to be able to enjoy about my life. And the fact that you're working majority of your life away, I want to be able to enjoy it. And if that means I need to take extra steps in order to get there, then I'm fully 100% willing to do that. So I guess all this leaves me with is what is happening with your social media and what's happening with this podcast. I think I will still do the podcast, but I'm not going to put pressure on myself to do one episode a week. Right now, I don't know if you can tell. Anyone that's watching the video or whatever, you could tell that I just had this motivation just to get up and film and just get it all out of my chest. Because I was kind of itching to do something and I thought I would just put this out first. There has been an idea that I've had, and it kind of combines things that I really like, but also I consume. So, especially recently, I've been watching and slash rewatching Danielle Christie on YouTube. If you don't know her, she's a true crime YouTuber, but she does her makeup while she talks about the true crime. That's not why I watch her because she does her makeup. I like how she tells the stories. I really like the research she puts in, the way that she cares about the victims and in the cases. You could really tell her passion up the screen. I want to do something similar. Not, it's not true crime, but I feel like that's been a lot of true crime content creators out there. And I do have an idea for something, but it's just getting up to do it. That's my thing. Hopefully, once I've settled into this job, I'll be able to do it. But yeah, it's just been tough. Also, the back of your brain, you're trying to impress yourself and trying to impress other people because people are like, consistency is key, and I do completely get that. But that does also in turn put pressure because it's like another thing of pressure. And the last thing anyone needs when they're feeling quite vulnerable or feel like they might have another meltdown at some time is pressure. And I don't want to feel that amount of pressure because then I'll burn out and then I'll never want to touch CapCut ever again. And that is the truth. It's a bit of an update in my life, just trying to figure things out, and I'm starting a new job soon. So yeah, exciting times. I might be a student again this time next year. I'm hoping so. I'm hoping so. Yeah, I'm feeling a bit more positive now. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this impromptu fourth episode of Gem Chats where me, Gem, chats about anything and everything in life. So hopefully I'll see you around at some point when I've finally figured out what I want to do with my platform. So hopefully see you soon.